When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. Join us as we learn the ABCs of honeybees, get tips on Christmas trees, and savor sweet Muddy Pond sorghum. Plus, Gator Harrison gets a start on apple tarts with Chef Tully Wilson. Eli the Gadget Guy finds a water-powered clock, and we consider the power of the pumpkin with Dr. Opp Walker. For good news that's all green, it's Live Green Tennessee right here and coming up next.
This program is brought to you in part by
Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This fall, there's fun worth finding just about every day at Tennessee farms, farmers markets, fairs, and festivals. You'll find corn mazes, pig races, farm animals and friendly faces, honey to eat, and fall colors that are a feast for the eyes. Whether you're looking for the perfect pumpkin or just a good scare, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
and by the generous support of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Connecting the grower to the buyer, the country to the city, and smart shopping with a healthy lifestyle. It's Live Green Tennessee.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to be your host for Live Green Tennessee, a tour of Tennesseans who are seeking, offering, and reaping the benefits of thinking, eating, and living green. Did you know that 1 of every 3 bites of food you eat is courtesy of a pollinating insect such as a bee? With declining bee populations across America, how does the bee and honey business stack up in Tennessee? Well, first up, Cumberland County beekeeper Jeff Dayton delivers some fascinating facts on the sticky business of bees. Then, just to see how easy bees can be, amateur beekeepers Gay and Todd McNabb offer a look at their garden apiary and a taste of Dripping Springs honey.
I'm Jeff Dayton from the Cumberland County Beekeepers Association, and we have a meeting monthly. We try to keep up with the statistics and show new beekeepers how to start apiaries and start hives. And there's 13,000 apiaries registered in the state of Tennessee, and there's about 2,000 beekeepers running these hives. It contributes quite a bit to our economy in the state. It's about $120 million a year. The market for fresh, raw honey is great. I mean, if you want to go out here and sell a crop, and if you don't sell it all today, it's still there next week. Honey doesn't spoil. It's one of the best foods that we can ever imagine. It's the perfect food. I can put it out, and the shelf life is indefinite. The guys at the farmer's market selling squash, if he don't sell that squash, he's going to be eating a lot of squash until the next weekend. So I like the bees and the honey part. In the state of Tennessee, we have 3 types of beekeepers, mainly, mostly hobbyists. That's people with less than 20 hives. Most are running 2 to 5 hives. And then you have sideliners, and that's what I consider myself as a sideliner. I have more than a hobby going here. I have a sideline business, and it's growing. And then you actually have true professionals. Growers in the field actually depend on these professional pollinators to come in and enhance their crops. When we talk about pollination, you know, everybody takes it for granted that the flowers are going to bloom and there's going to be more flowers next year. But we can't really take it for granted that you go to the grocery store and you pick out this nice vegetable or these nuts on the shelf that you see always, and we take this for granted. But if you take the bees out of the situation, about every third bite you take is contributed to a pollinating insect. And the bees do about 80% of that pollination, and we have to control or maintain enough colonies to feed the nation and other countries. And we really depend on these bees for pollination. I mean, we take so much for granted that the bees are just going to be there. Well, that's not necessarily true. I talked with the state apiarist, and the state apiarist gave me some numbers on what is going on with the hives in the United States. We lost 39% statistically last year. The state of Tennessee showed a 29% loss. There's various reasons. We have mites to contend with, we have diseases to contend with. You know, the beekeepers that make a living at it, they move their hives. One part of the season they'll be in, you know, they'll start out in the southern part of the country if they're migrating from south to north. So when they do this, they move those hives out of the community. But if you've got a good number of hobbyist beekeepers, say with 2 to 5, 10 hives around, then that bunch of hives don't leave the area. Okay. They stay right there. They contribute a huge amount to how well your garden does and how well your flowers grow.
And we went in these hives about 3 weeks ago, and this top super, this part here, these are called supers, we know is full of honey. So we're going to take that off. Let's see how hot they are today.
They're pretty docile.
They say this smoke makes them think their house is on fire, and they start thinking about other things. Get the first one out is sometimes a little difficult. After that, they come pretty easy.
Cut down the frame. Oh, that's wonderful.
That's a full frame of capped honey. Where's my brush? Now, there's going to be some real beekeepers that are watching me do this and probably say, you know, I don't know what I'm doing, and they would be 100% correct. But the thing about this is that anybody can do this, and we need more bees. I haven't been doing it, or Gay and I haven't been doing it very long, maybe 2.5 years. Yeah, we're in the bee business. A lot of people are in the honey business. We just like having the bees around, and we get some honey, but we don't get as much as we could because we don't manage our bees to produce the maximum amount of honey, because that's too hard of work for me. My feeling is these bees know what they're doing, and man's been studying them for thousands of years, and a lot of things they haven't figured out yet, but the bees know what they're doing. So I let them do just about whatever they want to do. We give most of our honey away. I could sell all that I get here right off my front porch at the golf course.
Wait just a minute, let me get her. Move her, girl. I can't stand it
She
when
hates
they
to kill a bee, and you can't go in here without killing a few bees.
I can't stand to squish them. I have to give them a chance.
Everybody puts rocks on top of them because the wind blows these things off, and you're in trouble. But let's go in and make us some honey. What we use to extract honey are 2 5-gallon buckets. I think I've probably got $40 in this whole thing. If you go to buy an extractor, it's $250, $300, $500, depending on what you do. But it's got this one has a filter in it, a fairly big filter. This one has a spigot, and then you put in a very fine filter on top of that. And then you have a spigot that your honey comes out of. Very simple.
The reason we use this method is because we like the comb, and we like the way that we are able to harvest our honey. A lot of people don't do that because they want to preserve the honeycomb so that the bees don't have to work so hard to reform the honeycomb. When people use an extractor, they take a hot knife and they slice the tops of the caps off to release the honey. Then they put the honey into the extractor, and then the honey is slung. What we do is we just cut the whole comb out, crush it, and that's the way we harvest our honey, because we have family and friends that really like the honeycomb. That's beautiful.
There's a great website called Linda's Bees, where I first saw this done. Linda's Bees, if you'll go to that, she's got a video on there of crushed comb honey. Now we'll let this will drain for a couple of days, and it just keeps coming. So that's it. We've extracted our honey. We've got some comb in the jars. It's not going to spoil. You don't have to keep it refrigerated. We run it in the jars and give most of it away to friends and family.
Dripping Springs honey.
Makes a great Christmas present.
With the holidays approaching, many people may choose a natural Christmas tree as a departure from the artificial trees that might have been used in the past. Today, aromatic, fresh-cut trees and even evergreens that can be home for the holidays and then replanted in your property are easily found throughout Tennessee. We visited Putnam County's Mark IV Christmas Tree Farm and even found a look-alike Santa at Cumberland County's RC Acres when we went looking for a professional perspective. We found out why real Christmas trees can make your holiday season green in more ways than one.
Hi, I'm Art Landrigan. We're here at RC Acres Christmas Tree Farm and Nursery, which I own with my wife Cindy. The farm has been in operation since 1997, and our first retail season was in the 2002 retail year. We actually began the farm before retirement while we were both working in the Dayton, Ohio area. And we traveled for 6.5 years every other weekend to work the farm, plant trees, shape trees, and build the infrastructure necessary to operate this type of operation. In 2001, following my retirement, we moved down on a permanent basis, and a year later we began our first retail season of operations. I'm also the president of the Tennessee Christmas Tree Growers Association, which I joined following my retirement in 2001. And my wife Cindy is the secretary-treasurer of that organization. When we took over the management of that organization in the 2003 timeframe, the organization had slipped down to a membership of about 15 growers, the smallest since its inception back in the late 1960s, early 1970s. A lot of folks had retired from the business, and a lot of others just chose not to belong to the organization. But I'm happy to report that from that 2003 period to present, we have tripled our membership, and we currently are running in excess of 35 registered farms as part of the association. Here at RC Acres, we started small, selling a mere 60 trees during our first operating season of 2002. But we are here to provide that experience, and while it started at Christmas, we have expanded that every year into other areas and other venues of interest. We went from choose and cut Christmas trees to offering live Christmas trees, balled and burlap, so that you can take them home, use them at Christmas time in the home, and then plant them in your landscape, your home landscape following Christmas. We added a full-service nursery 2 years ago, operating on almost a year-round basis, closing only in the months of July and August, when it's really too hot to plant anyway. The plan here at RC Acres is to offer a family experience not just at Christmas, but on a year-round basis, continuing into future years.
Hello, this is Alan Galloway. I'm owner of Mark IV Christmas Tree Farm on Kennard Road here just north of Cookeville, and I just wanted to share a little bit about why I got into the Christmas tree business. And like a lot of folks, I do it on a part-time basis, so a few years back when I had a chance to get just a couple acres out here north of town, actually we started in 1992. We started planting our very first seedlings, and for those of you that are familiar with Christmas trees, you know they take a little while to grow. So, you know, it takes generally 7 to 8 years before we get a mature tree. So starting seedlings, we started each year planting a few hundred, working our way into it, knowing that in time we would have some ready to sell. And we started selling in 1998, I guess technically, and have been selling a few trees out here every year since. We keep about 2 acres growing in trees at any one time, so generally I like to say I have about 1,400 trees in various stages out here at any one time. Well, generally, when the whole process of growing the trees is typically we're going to plant new seedlings either in late fall, November, December, or some varieties will plant in early spring, March or April. So you're buying those, you're planting those. That's a part of the process. Then usually in the springtime, obviously if you got grass around very small trees, we have to keep that trimmed back or use some sort of chemicals to hold the weeds down around them, because that's one of the major challenges for that little seedlings, to get enough sunlight and moisture to keep growing. One of the advantages of growing of using a real tree is the fact that Christmas trees are a renewable resource. The statistic we have been told about is the fact that an acre of Christmas trees growing provides enough oxygen for 18 people annually. So that alone is a good reason just to use them, because you're doing something good that's good for the environment as well.
The National Christmas Tree Association promotes and sponsors the Real Tree program. The Real Tree program is actually promoting the use of live and real Christmas trees as opposed to the artificial trees, which can be used year after year until they fall apart and then go into a landfill. And that landfill decomposition may take 30 to 40 years if it ever occurs. You are not cutting down a tree from nature without replacements, as the average Christmas tree farmer plants anywhere from 3 to 6 trees per year for every tree harvested in the prior year season. The resultant Christmas trees following the season have many uses around the home and the community as well. You can either cut them up, bring them to a recycling center to be used as mulch. You can bury them in a pond or a lake to provide much needed cover for a newly hatched fry in the spring, keeping the fish population raised above what it would normally be without their help. There are many, many uses that tree can be put to following its use in the home. People often ask, how does a Christmas tree get such a perfect shape? Well, I'm here to tell you it doesn't happen naturally in nature. Each tree is custom groomed and sheared by the grower every year, with some species requiring multiple shearings in a given season. The white pine is probably one of the more difficult to shape and shear because of the limited time frame that you have available to do it. This tree, as an example, probably had a top that was approximately 6 to 8 inches taller than what you currently see. So at the right time of year, you have to cut that to the appropriate length for the shape of the tree, and then hand cut the branches that are close to the top to give that tree its conical shape. Once you do that, come back with a rotary pruner or a shearing knife and continue that taper all the way down the tree to give the tree its wholesome shape and keep it full looking.
I guess to sum it up, the special part I've enjoyed about growing Christmas trees is since we started this when my sons were very small, they've got to grow up and be involved in the process. They've got to help me plant the trees, take care of the trees and all that. But it's a lot of fun to see the families come out and go through the process of choosing the tree for them each year.
So come join us this Christmas, or to any local Christmas tree farm, and purchase your real tree, supporting not only that farm, but the local economy, the local efforts that keep our wonderful part of Tennessee what it is today.
You know, there's still plenty of time to buy all sorts of seasonal treats for your holiday. Though the season is changing, Tennessee still has plenty of independent growers and local grocers that are ready to help you start that perfect pumpkin pie. Recently, Live Green Tennessee dropped in on the Warren County Farmers Market in McMinnville.
My name is Lena Jones, and I've been coming out here to the McMinnville Warren County Farmers Market since 1991.
My name is Carolyn Bickford. My husband Randall and I have been coming to the Farmers Market since 2002.
My name is John Bassam, and I've been coming to this market this time for last 5 years.
My name is Brent Bain. I've been coming to the market since about the second year it started back in, we started in 1992.
I'm Mary Cantrell. I'm the manager of the Warren County Farmers Market.
I do a lot of canning goods, and that's the main thing that we sell here is the home canned goods.
We sell baked goods, we sell sourdough bread, sourdough rolls, cakes, cookies.
In the fall here, I've got sweet potatoes, we got apples.
We have a lot of different pumpkins and winter squash and such as that.
We have molasses cookies, we do jams, jellies, preserves.
Prime months, July and August, I pretty well got green beans, beets, okra, tomatoes, and all of the popular vegetables.
Today is a very cold day up here at the market. It's in the 40s, but we still have a very full market. Rain, sleet, snow, when it's hot, when it's cold, they always come. They always know they can get good quality products here, and we're always proud to see them, and they're always proud to see us.
Even in the winter time, we come out through the third Saturday in December, and there's still a lot of vendors that come and have a lot of winter type produce.
I think the farmers market is really important, and the people that come out enjoy talking to the vendors, and the vendors do all they can to help the people.
It is a great place to come and get fresh vegetables, for homegrown vegetables, home-baked items. It's a good place to come and just for good communication, a good place to meet and talk.
First of all, it gives people a social gathering place. It's time to catch up with people you haven't seen in a while, and also you get a chance to come out and find fresh local produce that you really can't get anywhere else.
It's so helpful to people, especially elderly people. In the summertime, we do take the WIC vouchers for the elderly, which is a special program that is administered out of Cookeville, as a matter of fact. My favorite part about coming to the farmers market is it's just like a big extended family.
I just like the people. They just seem to enjoy it, and they ask us questions, and we try to help them out, and I just think it's really great.
Every week I'll meet somebody new or somebody that come through that I've been acquainted with in the past, and I just look forward to getting up and coming up here to the market.
We want to encourage everybody to come on out, have a cup of coffee, visit, and buy this wonderful produce.
Okay, say you've just returned from the farmer's market with that perfect pumpkin or a sack full of crisp fall apples. What's next? Well, country giant DJ Gator Harrison invited Hartsville chef Tully Wilson to share his recipe of some fancy looking yet easy baking homemade apple tarts.
Thanks, Melinda. Welcome into the Green Galley, Live Green, Tennessee. We're going to actually teach you how to eat green. And we're talking about healthy, and healthy doesn't have to be boring and bland. As a matter of fact, Tully Wilson, our buddy Tully from Tully's Bistro, is here, and you're going to teach us how to cook something, right?
Absolutely. We're going to be doing an apple dumpling with fresh, local apples.
Now, see, that's a Tennessee meal right there. I can get behind some apple dumplings, so where do we start here?
Well, we're going to start making our filling for the apples. We're going to have a little brown sugar, cardamom, cinnamon's the big base, and then we'll peel the apples, and then I'm going to want to watch you turn it into this little basket.
Wow, we're gonna make one of those.
You're going to make that.
All right, very good. Let's get started.
All right.
So you got your butter. What kind of, just regular butter that you throw in there?
We use 100% butter.
I got you. How much butter are we talking?
We're going to do ½ pound.
Okay, so just throw this in?
Just throw that in.
All right.
All right, and then you got to raise the bowl up or we'll have butter all over us.
Okay. All right, we're going up to what here?
Medium speed. Butter's smooth.
Okay.
We're ready to go to add our brown sugar and everything.
All right. The dropping of the bowl. Here we go.
Dropping the bowl. You got to take the pedal off the bowl. It won't come out without doing this.
All right, very good.
So we have smooth butter. So definitely go ahead and add the brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
About
That's
a cup.
cinnamon. Okay, right here?
This is brown sugar.
All right, see, I'm
oh,
learning.
Man.
What? See, you're supposed to tell me. I don't know what this stuff is.
Shiny sugar.
Shiny sugar. Gotcha. Shiny sugar. Write that down. Okay. And how much are we adding?
We're
in?
adding a cup.
All right.
Crank it back up to the
All right.
mixing height.
Can you tell I don't have one of these at home? Okay. Going medium speed.
High speed, it's on your kitchen, it's on your walls, it's on the ceiling.
All right, very good.
So now we're going to cream it together so it's a smooth paste.
All right.
So grab the spatula.
Oh, the spatula. Okay.
Pink.
This right here.
All right, we're going to
Very
scrape the
good.
sides
This is good
down.
manly color. I like this. Okay.
It's
and you're
fitting.
gonna scrape the sides off like this?
Absolutely.
All right. I've done some scraping. So as we do this, tell us about Tully's Bistro. What kind of a restaurant or bistro is it?
We're American French fusion.
Right.
We use local farmers for our produce.
Very good.
And everything in season, and my menu changes 4 times a year, and we're completely organic. So no pesticides, no hormones in my beef or anything.
All right.
Everything's free range.
And there's a difference in the taste. If
There
you're not
is.
using all natural, there's a difference in the taste. So not only a Tennessee chef, but I understand you're going to be worldwide here soon.
Absolutely. I have auditioned for Bravo's Top Chef.
Well, very good. So hopefully we'll have to watch this season to see if you're on.
Absolutely. Tune into Bravo.
All right, until then, go to Hartsfield, Tully's Bistro. We're making apple dumplings. All right, so now we've got it whipped together here.
So we're going to take the bowl down, and then we're going to add the
All right.
cinnamon and the cardamom.
Cinnamon and cardamom right here.
Absolutely.
Very good. And how much are we adding in?
You're going to add a teaspoon of the cardamom.
Oh, here we go. I'm making my wife proud if she's watching. All right, sprinkle it around.
We're
Okay.
good. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons.
2?
Level.
Level. That's key. Now, see, I would have made that mistake at home. Hopefully, you guys level. All right,
I
here we
hope
go.
you like cinnamon.
You think just the whole thing?
Yeah, that'll work. Let's go.
You know, you could have saved
Cinnamon's
us some
better.
time there, Tully.
Hey,
All right,
if
very
you
good.
like cinnamon, though, go for more.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is the apple dumplings. That's what we're making, Live Green, Tennessee, in the Green Galley, and still going on about a medium speed here.
And this is a filling, so color's right. It's a dark brown. Means everything's incorporated.
Okay.
So we're done.
Awesome. Okay,
filling.
here we go. What is this thing called? It's called a paddle?
A paddle.
Glad my mom didn't know where that was stashed when I was a kid.
We don't have whips. I mean, this would hurt.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we don't want to waste anything.
I know, but I'm wanting to use my...
It's part of green.
I'm
you
wanting to
know,
lick it, to be
conserve.
honest with you, Tully. I'm just going to...
Butter?
Oh, well, it smells good. Are you kidding me? Stress the positive. That's what I like.
All right.
Okay.
So if you can put this in the refrigerator
In the fridge.
and get it cold for
All right,
about
very good.
15 minutes so it gets firm.
So, what do we do while that's chilling?
We have Fuji's, baby Fuji's.
Baby Fuji's? Is that what these are called?
They are. They're baby Fuji apples.
Baby Fuji apples. Obviously, a Tennessee guy didn't name them. All right, so can I be honest? I've never used an apple peeler before. The apple peeler at my house was Mom.
Just straight up and down.
Really? All right. What we're making today, how many would this feed, typically?
12.
12 people. Do you want to show us how to really do this? All right.
Oh boy, here, let me show you.
Okay. Wow. See, that's why he's going to be the next top chef right there. And we can be proud and say we knew him when. So, we've got our apples peeled.
All right, and then you're going to take the knife.
I'm
and
going to
we're
let you take the
We're
knife.
going to cut the top
Okay.
off because you don't want that little on there.
Absolutely.
Trim the bottom. And then, you know, too much on. Come on, Gator.
What?
Keep it clean.
Is
Keep
this
it
not clean? Oh, man,
Work
I'm-
clean, you don't cut yourself.
Okay, good.
You're not
I'm
bleeding.
I'm getting fired already.
You know, we call it mise en place, everything in its place.
Mise en place? Is that what you said?
I know.
Boy, growing up in your house would have been fun. No, my mom was the same way, and that's what I love. You know, she always kept a clean kitchen.
We're clean. When I get done, I'm not like, hey, come here, I've got 20
Right.
dishes for you.
Makes cleanup easier as well.
We cut the apple in half,
Okay.
and you got to core it out. Use your household melon bar if you have it, or you can use a spoon as well.
Okay.
You're just going to carve out the center. The deeper you make it, no, don't cut through the apple, but
Right.
I like a lot of filling because
Okay.
that filling's going to turn to a caramel. By putting it in the center of the apple instead of covering it around, it's going to bake through the apple, so
Okay.
it'll come to the outside, so that whole apple will be filled with caramel.
Oh, all right. Very good. More caramel, less apple. I'm with you, Tully.
Absolutely, you know.
You're cooking my language now, pal.
So have it done. You want to notch
Okay.
the core out so you don't have that bottom or the top. You don't, by leaving these little notches
Sure.
allows the caramel to flow out.
Okay.
So it comes to the outside and gets into the puff pastry. All right, now that you have that,
Okay.
it's been about 15 minutes.
All right.
So you want to get our filling out. So we
Going
can-
for the filling. Let's see here.
You know, using
right.
local products.
Sure.
Not only are we eating local, you're immune system goes up because it's everything in your environment.
Right.
And we're helping farmers, local
Oh, and
farmers
that's-
keep their jobs
Absolutely.
and everything. So everybody, it becomes a circle.
Absolutely.
So
See-
healthier.
Yeah, and keeping your dollars right here in the economy, and we could all use that. And I'm sure the farmers are saying amen, Tully.
Absolutely. So you're going to get in there, you're
Okay.
going to get a handful, you're going to make a ball.
A
to fill
handful,
into
you
this.
say?
Appropriately to go in the center
Okay.
of the apple.
All right.
See
about
how
that?
it's much firmer now than it was?
Yeah, it's kind of like Play-Doh, except much tastier. Okay, and I know. Don't ask me why. Tully. All right, so do I ball this up?
You do. There we go. We're going to put this in the center.
Okay, got to work on my balling. Okay.
All right. And then you take your other half,
Okay.
push them back together. And I
Very
like
cool.
a lot of caramel with my apple.
Right.
So I always make a disc shape or a ball and place it on top.
Okay. Make what?
Another ball.
Oh, another ball. Sorry, I was all into the more. Okay, good. And the oozing. See, Tully's getting forgiving on me. He realizes who he's working with here. I am an amateur. And that's the great thing. Listen, if I can do this, anybody can do this.
Absolutely. So this is the product we want to go for
Okay.
before we're ready for the puff pastry.
And now I guess we're going to make a pouch or a basket. What do you call this?
I call it a pouch
All
or
right.
purse.
Okay, a purse, you say.
Well, we're going to tie it. It kind of looks like a
All right,
woman's
very good. So how do we make this?
Well, you're going to need the knife.
All right, so we got
And
the
we're
knife.
going to use a household medium bowl
Okay.
size. Just cut around the edge.
All right. It's easy enough. What a great idea using a bowl for an outline. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is the? I mean, is it just dough? What kind of dough?
It's puff pastry dough. You can pick it
Okay.
up at any local market.
All right.
It usually has it. You're going to want to put the apple in the center. If you see these that I did earlier,
Sure.
I hope you can do this.
Because presentation is important.
It is.
Right?
90% of what we eat with our eyes first.
So at the Culinary Institute of America, I'm sure they teach you things like this: how to prepare food to look good.
You're going to raise up the size, and
Okay.
you're going to want to make. Wow.
Check it
Look.
out. Check it out, Tully. Am I making you proud here?
No, look, round ruffles. That's flat.
The good news
I'm going to have
is-
to step in and help.
All right, go ahead. Show us how it's done.
Pull up one side. You've just squished it all together.
Well, you said bring it up. I'm trying to learn here. Okay.
Delicate.
Delicate. See, I don't do delicacy really good, Tully. Yeah. I'll work on my delicacy.
There we go.
Okay.
Now we kind of pull it up tight, give it a good circular,
Okay.
and we're going to let it sit.
Now
we're
we're
going to take the extra dough.
Okay.
And just the length of the bowl where we cut it,
Uh-huh.
you want to cut out a strip.
Okay. So about the size of your finger, as far as width, right?
Right.
Depending upon your finger. Okay.
And then you just take it. We're going to squish this down a little. It's a little big.
Okay.
You wrap it around,
I have big fingers, Tully. Okay.
and then you're just going to make a simple knot. Just tuck it under. We're not going to be tying a bow or anything that too much for pastry. And then we're just going to let it hang a little, and when it bakes up, we're going to have this beautiful puffy basket.
Oh, that's
It's going
wonderful.
to double in size, actually.
Very good. And so, start to finish, how long does it really take?
30 minutes.
30 minutes tops. And you can do a lot of the prep work the night before, and then we're going to put this in, and how long will it bake?
We're going to bake it at 350, and it takes 30 minutes for the caramel to make and bubble and ooze out.
Really?
So you want to allow it enough time.
So yeah, well, you got enough time to set the table, get the kids ready, and
Absolutely.
get everybody rounded
and
up.
let the
for a good-
house start smelling like apples and cinnamon and the holidays.
Absolutely. Now, does this keep well? I mean, is this a dish that you can cook, you can make? Well, does it freeze?
We want to, at this point, you could save them and freeze them.
Sure.
But once it bakes, the puff pastry will become stale and everything in the air. So it's a bake and eat.
I understand. Hey, bake and eat is my kind of thing. So we need to stick it in. Let's get this thing baked, and I get to taste it.
All right. So let's get a sheet tray. You got a lined sheet tray. You want to spray it, or if you have some parchment paper that you bought at the store, you can put your parchment down.
Okay.
So you're just going to set it in the center.
All right.
And we're going to put it in the oven, and you're going to let it bake.
All right. In the oven you go.
There we go.
All right.
You're going to have to turn the
I
pan
think, all
sideways.
right, I'm going underneath here. I'm going to the low. There we go.
There you go.
It's my first time using an oven, Tully.
All
Okay.
right. So I think it's time for a break and a drink, and we'll come back in 30 minutes.
All right, sounds good. See you in 30. All right, Tully, we've all cleaned up and almost there. 3, 2, 1.
Awesome.
And we're ready to pull it out?
And it smells great. Looks nice, golden brown.
Oh, wow, it smells incredible. This should be smell-o-vision. You guys should be able to smell this.
Absolutely. Awesome. So now
Little
we're going to
hot.
make that pretty. You know, got a presentation.
Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so now it's time to set the plate, correct?
It is, and you know, visuals. So we've got a little caramel we made,
Okay.
just using sugar and water, and then we added some Jack Daniels. You know, got to stay with the Tennessee.
Got to keep it Tennessee. I like your
So we
thinking.
got
Okay.
that. Here you go.
All right.
Let's just do a zig pattern.
A
Simple.
zig pattern. Just zig everywhere? Is there, should you show me how to do this first?
From
Do you trust
corner to
me?
corner.
See, you got to talk. Oh, look
See,
at this.
smooth caramel.
Oh, look at this. Tully, how's that for zigging?
It's awesome. And I'll
if you're
take it
hiring
there.
anybody for some zigging down at Tully's Bistro, you know who to call, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, check out my website, tullysbistro.com.
Very good.
Pre-plate, nice shiny, you know, shiny.
It looks good.
And we'll take the spatula. We're going to lift up our apple dumpling. We're going to set it. You know, it's warm and hot. You might
Yes.
want to put a scoop of ice cream always, you know, your favorite flavor or something.
I like the way Tully thinks.
So, hey, we're done.
We're done?
And I'm hungry.
Oh, me too. All right.
4, I'll let you cut.
All right. Now, I want the center. I don't want the end. Oh, man, this looks good.
See, look, you got a little bite. I
Wow,
like this.
that's good. Mmm. That is good.
A little hot.
Tully,
Wow.
Tully Wilson, Tully's Bistro. Thanks for Living Green, Tennessee, and thanks for joining us in the Green Galley. We're going to be eating.
Thank you.
This is good.
It is good.
Last time in the Gadget Lab, we saw an alarm clock powered with a potato. This time, Eli the Gadget Guy finds some practical gadgets to halt household trickle power and then finds the zap in simple tap water.
Hi, I'm Eli the Gadget Guy, and welcome to the Green Gadget Lab. Today I have some special gadgets that can help save energy in places that you may not even think about. Energy isn't just saved in big places using big gadgets, it can also be saved in small places using small gadgets. Did you know that standby power has been estimated to add up to 12% of the electricity bills in the home or office? Standby power happens when your appliance's computer, television accessory go into standby mode. I have a gadget that can help reduce your electricity bill and your carbon footprint by turning off the standby power. It is called the Trickle Saver. You know, there are two different versions of the Trickle Saver. First, there's the television Trickle Saver. And then, there's a PC computer version. Basically, what you do is you plug the Trickle Saver into the wall, and you plug the power strip with all the accessories into the Trickle Saver. Woo! When the Trickle Saver is plugged in, all the standby power to the appliances will be shut off when the appliance is not in use. This gadget is cost-effective, easy to use, and environmentally friendly. And if that doesn't intrigue you, it is also Gadget Guy approved. And speaking of trickle, that word kind of reminds me of water. And that brings us to our second gadget. Let me go get it. And our second green gadget is a water-powered clock. So basically you have this battery filled with water. And what you do is you just pop it in there. Like this. But for a really neat function, what you need to do is you need to put water inside the clock. That was such hard work, but hey, we got a clock and it works and it tells time. And also it tells the temperature. And it even has an alarm clock. Well, I'm Eli the Gadget Guy, and we'll see you next time at the Green Gadget Lab.
Not far from Monterey off Interstate 40 is a small rural community known simply as Muddy Pond. Established 45 years ago by Mennonite farmers, it's long been a quiet stop on the road for folks with a bit of time to seek handmade goods and enjoy a glimpse of a more strenuous yet straightforward way of life. The Gunther family has been making sorghum for decades now, cutting cane at harvest time and cooking the sweet juice down using both traditional and modern methods. In labor laboring side by side, the fathers, mothers, brothers, sons, and daughters of the extended Gunther family have found more than one sweet side to the business of making dark, delicious sorghum.
Well, I've been involved in it now for about 32 years that I can remember. This operation has been here for about, I think we've been here 26 years now. And basically what's happening is we go to the field and extract the juice. We do run a horse-drawn mill as well, just for the show, but we go to the field and extract the juice and haul it in large tanks, and we dump it in these vats here behind us, in these big tanks.
Family started moving in early 1965, and my parents came in January of 1965. My oldest brother was born in March of 1965. The sorghum making operation has been an attraction for people from the very beginning, and it amazes me every year how many people show up. At the beginning of the season, sometimes my faith will waver, and I'm like, well, this year, it was a good year last year, but this year nobody will, probably not as many people will come. And so I'm always amazed at how many people do show up, and I think it has a lot to do with our family connectedness, and our people want that. They want to see it, and I'm very, very proud to be part of that.
Daddy and Grandpa always said that this was sugar cane, and the end product was molasses. Daddy's dead and gone, and it's the gospel truth. What he said is true. Well, he was right insofar. It is a sweet cane, but it's actually sorghum cane. It's not sugar cane. Sugar cane actually is grown further south in Florida and Louisiana, and sugar cane is actually boiled down and make sugar out of it. This being sorghum cane, no matter how much we boil it, we cannot boil it into sugar. All it does, the longer we boil it, the thicker it gets. No matter how, it just can't boil it into sugar. So the correct name for it is sorghum syrup, but everybody calls it molasses, and that's fine. And we know what everybody's talking about.
The 2 previous years we had a serious drought, and we thought that was bad. You know, our production was way down. And then of course last year fuel prices went up so much that we did increase our price last year. However, this year with all the rain, there was also a lot of cooler weather, and cane likes hot weather to really do well. And so it did cut our crop way down, probably about in half, and the production, of course, is way down. It's been very hard to get in the fields and get the harvest in. And I guess we just learned to do with less because we did not go up in price this year. Fuel prices did come down from last year, so we didn't feel like we would go up in price this year.
Yeah, it's taken us at least an extra month because of doing it by hand, because of the wet weather. Well, back in the old days, it was always done by hand. We actually have got some machinery now to harvest it. It cuts it and grinds the juice out of it and pumps the juice into a tank pulled behind. But we've had pretty serious wet weather this year, and because of it, we're not able to drive through the field. So that's the reason we're doing it by hand now again.
The way it was done here about 20 years ago was this way and this way only. In a long day, 250 gallons of juice would be produced in a day. Whereas with modern machinery out in the field, they can produce 2,500 gallons of juice in a day. So we're looking at approximately 10 times as much. But then you're looking at a lot more horsepower too.
We, of course, do it on a much larger scale now, and it's caused us to modernize a little bit, if you want to say it that way. We were more traditional. When I was younger, we extracted all the juice with the horse-drawn mills, and now we extract most of it in the fields with tractor-powered presses, hydraulic-powered presses, and And then, of course, our mill is a lot bigger, our pan is a lot bigger.
Right now, Mom and Dad raised 7 boys and 1 sister. There's 8 of us. 3 of us boys and our sister are involved working at the sorghum mill and making sorghum, and our parents. The other 4 boys do other public work. As you can see, these young boys here are pretty good help to me. Amazing what these young fellows can do. This is my brother Eddie that just came to the field. We're going to use the tractor here and load the cane up in bins so we can take it to the next step, and that's what, after that we'll take it off these bins and grind it. And his daughter Charlotte there's driving the tractor. So she'll be driving and we'll be loading.
Not only the working, but our belief system, you know, our connectedness to God, and you know, we do try to stay connected together. And I see a big difference between my family and
okay, you can come on.
And the outside. Yeah, there's a big difference, and I like the way we do it. I really do.
It is a lot of work. It is a team effort, and I think it's good for the families here too. They tend to stick together more, doing the same thing together. Sorghum cane used to be milled and has been milled in Tennessee for probably 150 years or more. Just about every small farm in Tennessee raised a patch of sorghum cane at one time. Often it became a community kind of thing where there might be 1 or 2 mills in a community, and people would load their wagons up and come for miles around just to do this.
Today I'm one of the cooks, so I'm in charge of making sure that the product gets cooked down to the right thickness. You don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. It's kind of a little art you have to learn. It doesn't take long to learn it. Anybody can do it. As we start letting it on the pan, this stream of juice right here, we let it pour into the tank or into the cooking pan. And as it starts boiling, there's a residue that comes off of it. It's called skimmings or impurities.
Foam, or the skimmings, we call it the skimmings, that comes off the juice. We feed it to the pigs, and it's sweet, and they love it, and they get really fat.
As it continues to boil, it travels down this pan and around every baffle, and that's kind of what we call our pre-cooker. You can see through the steam for it pouring out here into this pan. When it gets finished here, we open this valve up, and we let it pour into this little tub here, and this is a screen, like a filter screen. From this little tub, the sorghum gets pumped from a pipe into this thing here. It's called a stack of cooling trays. There's about 7 trays in here. It's not forced with a fan or anything. It just air cools from the time it leaves the pan till it gets to the tank. It cools at about 100 degrees from the finishing process to the bottle.
And we use the steam now. When I was growing up, we had a fire under the pan, and that was what provided the heat to boil the syrup. But now we use the steam, and so we can do a lot more in a shorter period of time.
It only takes about 25 minutes from start to finish till it gets thick enough and it's off the pan. In a good day, we can do up to 2,300 gallons of raw juice, which will process down to about 250, 275. It depends how high the sugar ratio is. Sometimes as good as 300 gallons in a day off of those 2,300 gallons of raw juice.
I was raised up around it, and I've been doing it all my life. When I was a teenager, I somewhat rebelled it. I said there's got to be a better way to make a living than this. This is just too much hard work. And I did some other public work and found out that the world is actually a mean place, and what I'd learned from my dad was a pretty good thing to do. So I went back to the farm 6 months later and decided this is where my heart is, and it's what I like to do.
A doctor of pharmacology and an avid home gardener, Dr. Opp Walker has made it his business to know plants, and especially superfoods like the mighty pumpkin.
Welcome to the Medicine Garden. I'm Dr. Opp Walker, and today we'll look at the medicinal benefits of the pumpkin. While considered a vegetable, pumpkins are technically a fruit and are believed to have originated in Mexico and Central America more than 7,000 years ago. Pumpkins were introduced by Spanish explorers to the Old World in the 16th century. The Italians discovered the mixing of pumpkin and honey to be a good digestive aid in those individuals overindulging in the eating of meats. America's war between the states forced Southerners to seek medicine from natural sources. Individuals eating pumpkin seeds as food noticed their effect on intestinal parasites. As a result, pumpkin seeds became official medicine in the United States from 1863 till 1936. Physicians north and south prescribed ground-up pumpkin seeds in the treatment of intestinal parasites, as the chemical in pumpkin seeds paralyzes the worms, causing the worms to release their hold on the intestinal wall. Pumpkin seeds today are official medicine in Germany and are utilized to treat enlarged prostate glands in males. Pumpkin seeds are more effective when eaten raw, morning and evenings on an empty stomach. The seeds may be roasted for 10 minutes at 350 degrees and sprinkled with olive oil. Remember to remove the seed shells for those patients with diverticulitis. Europeans consider pumpkin very heart healthy due to their low sodium, high potassium, and low fat content. A pumpkin puree is prescribed 1 day per week as a treatment for high blood pressure. Europeans also prescribe pumpkin for irritable bladder and as a preventative for kidney stones. Pumpkins neutralize excess stomach acid, preventing heartburn and indigestion, and treats ulcers by protecting the stomach lining. Pumpkins contain 90% water, high in vitamin C and fiber, and acts as a mild laxative, soothing the intestinal tract. The big orange squash is rich in beta-carotene. A Harvard University study has shown that pumpkin prevents the formation of cataracts. A Japanese study has shown that pumpkins can prevent colon cancer by neutralizing the carcinogenic effects found in other foods. In fact, the pumpkin family, along with the cabbage family, offers the highest anti-cancer effects. The United States Department of Agriculture has verified that pumpkin curbs appetite, reduces caloric absorption, reduces fat absorption, and helps to prevent strokes. Other studies are currently underway with promising results for the treatment of insomnia and diabetes. So feel good in taking a healthy choice when you make that holiday dessert, pumpkin pie. I'm Dr. Opp Walker. See you next time in the Medicine Garden.
This month's greenest thumb tip could be called the greenest paw. Kate of Knoxville logged on and posted this easy remedy for dogs suffering from the dry skin that colder weather can bring. Kate mixes 1/3 cup each warm water, baby oil, and original brown Listerine into a spray bottle and sprays her dog all over. She says it works really well on their dry skin and on hot spots too. We've heard of similar remedies for dog and even horses' tails. One man said it works so well on his dogs and horses, he even tried it on his own scalp with great results. The secret lies in the original Listerine formula, which contains essential oils that may have an antifungal effect, which could explain its success against skin irritations. Be sure to ask your veterinarian if your dog experiences persistent itching, as this might also be caused by food allergies. Thanks for posting your tip, Kate. You are Live Green Tennessee's greenest thumb. Do you have a green tip that saves money in the home, office, or garden? We want to know. Each month, our featured tipster receives a $25 Visa gift card and a WCTE travel mug and lunch bag. Visit WCTE.org/greenthumb to post your tip and then read and comment on your neighbors' tips. And vote for your favorites. You can also email your tip to livegreen@WCTE.org or call the number on your screen. Thanks for Living Green, Tennessee. We hope you've enjoyed Live Green Tennessee, and we hope you'll join us next time when we smoke out the cure for Tennessee country ham, revisit the creation of the incredible Local Table magazine, drop in on the Franklin Farmers Market, hit the kitchen with Gator Harrison, talk nuts with Dr. Op Walker, and drop into the Gadget Lab, plus a whole lot more right here next time on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by
Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This fall, there's fun worth finding just about every day at Tennessee farms, farmers markets, fairs, and festivals. You'll find corn mazes, pig races, farm animals and friendly faces, honey to eat, and fall colors that are a feast for the eyes. Whether you're looking for the perfect pumpkin or just a good scare, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
and by the generous support of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.